And after those rough couple weeks, they were great at it last week.
Yeah.
Kind of built some momentum in that area continuing into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's how it usually works in the NFL. When you guys go back, we go back into the team meetings room, they take intercuts. So they take like 4 weeks of games and blend them together.
Yeah.
The fact that you had one good week against the run, it's going to get mixed in with 3 other game performances, and they're going to show you 20 plays and say, hey, they're struggling with this. The fact that you did it last week is good. They executed a great game plan last week defensively. And I think that's really important because the challenges you're going to get in the playoffs are going to be different. I mean, if it ends up being a Phillip Rivers game versus a Ravens game versus a Chiefs game later on, these are 3 dramatically different kind of approaches. Or Titans, you don't know who you're going to run into, and I think that's important that you can sort of flip on a switch. So the Jets team today has a couple pretty dangerous offensive weapons, a young gun quarterback that can do some things, and a sneaky good back there that if you don't want to fall asleep on. So you understand what they do best, you take it away the best you know how, and this is kind of back to your original point about stopping it in the dime nickel stuff versus straight regular. I want Danny Shelton up. I am the Danny Shelton president of his fan club or whatever, and Danny Shelton doesn't have to play a lot of reps. I think last week he came in and played 13 or 14, but knowing that they have 2 bigs that they can put in for a few series a game to dissuade the other team from doing it. I think that's super important. I think you need to carry that throughout the playoffs, even if it, again, ends up being a 15 or play less thing. So show that you can stop it so the teams don't just go at you that way, and show that you can execute a game plan. You're good to go.
Yeah, and the Patriots were willing to sit Adrian Claiborne in that game last week to get Danny Shelton up. They also had Ufama Kamalo, who's a...
You nailed it.
Oh,
nice work, Doug.
Yeah, I think I'm the number one fan club member of Ufama Kamalo. But he's definitely a much bigger body there at the end of the defensive line. Yeah, 6'6", 300 pounds, can play that. He was saying to me this week, 5 tech, 3 tech, 7 technique. He can play all around the defense.
300-pounder covering kickoffs, too.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Impressive stuff.
Terrifying when you're one of the blockers.
I would imagine. Let's get into the Chatham's Choice, our betting segment here. The over-under is 46.5.
Yeah.
The line is Patriots favored by 13.5. So where are you going with this one, Matt?
Well, folks that are out there that do the wagering thing, even people that do fantasy football, I'm always very leery of Week 17 because of the sort of varied motivations and sort of, you know where most teams are heads are headed for a half, even into the third quarter. But the fourth quarters get weird in these games if something goes the wrong way. I mean, one thing to consider is Sam Darnold is the future here. I mean, he could be a stud in this league. If things go real south real fast, do you want him hanging around in the third or fourth quarter taking hits? I mean, so it's a very speculative thing as far as lines. It could get really out of hand in a hurry. I think the points are really the side to play. We're sitting at 11-4, where we really want to get to 12-4. That's a good way to finish the year. But at 46.5, in lieu of the news with the wide receiver group for the Jets, for me, that was really what's pushing me to the under on 46.5. Enunwa goes on IR, Curse goes on IR. They're pretty limited with the one wide receiver. We really don't even know who's going to play the 2, 3, and 4 spots. So I think it could be a mild points day for them. The Patriots get back on track with a high 20s number, but it keeps you under that 46.5.
What are you thinking, Zach?
I don't really have a strong sense of the over-under in this game because I could see this end up being a game like 2 years ago where the Patriots ended up winning, 41-6, 41-3.
Well, let's make it 41-3.
But
there you go.
And I've been kind of hesitant to take some of these big lines that the Patriots have had this season. I took the Bills and the points last week. They ended up bailing me out right at the end.
Filthy cover.
Right at the end. That was fantastic. Thank you, Buffalo. In this game, I'm going to take the Patriots in the points. I think they'll cover 13.5 in this game. I just think with the fact that the Jets don't have anything to play for, I expect Sam Darnold to play hard. I expect a lot of these young guys to play hard, but just with the kind of the news out of there this week, with the cornerbacks not showing up, with Todd Bowles being on his way out, I don't know. I can see this being a game where if the Patriots jump out to a 10-0, 14-0 lead, New York just ends up kind of laying down, and it ends up being a kind of a runaway win for New England. So I'm going to take the 13.5, the Patriots.
I think I'm going to go with you, Zach. I was kind of wavering on this one just because of last week's game against the Bills. I think it would kind of scare you off from taking the Patriots the points, but it is a different situation. It's Week 17. Patriots have something to fight for. I know that Sam Darnold, if he is playing in the fourth quarter, it could change. Maybe they do a backdoor cover again or something, but I'll take Patriots in the points, 13.5. I think they should have no problem winning this game, and as I said to start, if they do, there might be some trouble in the postseason. But that will do it for this week's NESN Pregame Chat presented by Mimecast. I'm Doug Kyed. This is Zack Cox. This is Matt Chatham. Keep it on NESN.com for all of your Patriots coverage throughout the game and into the postseason.